everybody! Once again, I'm actually recording a YouTube video. Let's see if I can keep this up a little better than I have. And as part of that, I have a ton of reviews that I need to catch up on. One of them is definitely Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb. Now, I've given so far really in-depth spoiler reviews on all of the Realm of the Elderlings. This is the end of the third trilogy. I finished Farseer, finished Live Ship. I have really in-depth videos on all of those. I loved all of them. I think all of them but one are 5 stars for me. And then now this is the Tawny Man Trilogy, the final here. Let me just get this out of the way. This is a 5-star universal recommend, or excuse me, not universal recommend, best of all time. I think the conclusion to this book is exactly what I said when I read the second book in this series. The second book, Golden Fool, is a little bit of a slow roll. And I said, you know, it was slow, if interesting, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. It absolutely was. So this is going to be completely spoiler at this point. If you've read Realm of the Elderlings, you're probably reading this all the way through. So this will be spoiler filled from here on out. First thing I want to say is I loved the mystery from Farseer being brought back here in the realm, or in the Tawny Man Trilogy. Because that seemed like it's an interesting plot point, but one of the things I didn't like about the Farseer conclusion to that particular trilogy as a trilogy is that the Red Ship War wasn't really dealt with outside of like that Verity's dragon fixed it basically. And so this really got much more into that. And not only that, I loved that it was connected to the Fool and his wider like mission, which is another thing I felt a little left by down at the Farseer. So in many ways, Tawny Man filled up what was lacking for me in the Farseer trilogy. And it's interesting that the way that these are sort of positioned in the reading order, because I wish that I had read Tawny Man right after Farseer, because I think it would have made me enjoy both series better. But I wouldn't want any sort of spoiler as far as like Amber and who that is going into Live Ship. So it's fair. I don't know how exactly to recommend reading The Realm of the Elderlings, because it might change. I have 2 more series left. So very interesting thoughts on this. But back to this book itself, I thought the conclusion with the dragon and the island, and that we have several like growing points after that, was great. The character growth of both Fitz and the Fool, their relationship, the memory of Night Eyes. There's just a lot in here that I wish I could talk more details. And again, I read this in July, and as of taping this, I think it's like September 4th or something like that. So it's been a while, and some of the details are, you know, slowly escaping as they do after you've read a book. But I have to say, Fool's Fate is utterly fantastic. The weaknesses of Chade and Fitz complementing, and yet like I don't know what the right word would be, clashing with each other, recognizing each other in what they like or don't like. Thick and his character growth and like how he becomes endeared and yet also is very frustrating to you. There's just a lot in here. I'm forgetting her name right now, but the princess, I also thought was quite extraordinary. Really, everything about this book I thought was a fantastic conclusion, and in some ways a happy ending for Fitz, which is pretty rare. I'm very interested to see what will happen with him and Molly. I loved his slow sort of relationship building with his daughter. I kind of just listing things at this point because as you see, I had such a well thought out outline. It's been a couple months, but I think you guys will understand that. And I am so excited to get to, I think Dragon Rain Chronicles is my next one. Or the Rainwild Chronicles is my next read. It'll be a little while. I feel like this is a good conclusion to exhale a little bit from Realm of the Elderlings, but I will be going back in there soon. So, like I said, I know this is shorter than I normally would go with the spoiler reaction here, but because of the length since I read it, and there's only so much I can say without just listing the plot, I'm going to stop it here and say, great book. Put a dragon emoji in the bottom if you made it to the end of this very short review. Thank you guys for watching. As always, first in, last out.